In a quiet spot in the Danvers region of Ukraine, Mykola and his pregnant wife Nastya live. They are recognized as the first eco-settlers in the area. Nastya is an artist who enjoys drawing and wood carving. She even creates a wood angel for Mykola as a protection amulet. Mykola is a mathematician, physicist, and ecologist who teaches at the local school, riding his bicycle there. The peace sign outside their home is the paw of the white raven. It symbolizes an old legend about a raven that showed compassion for people, bringing them fresh water and food while losing its feathers along the way. The couple doesn't have any electronics at home, so they don't get news until Mykola goes to work. During his break, he catches a few minutes of TV and finds out about the protesters killed in Ukraine's capital and the possibility of Russia invading the country. In class, Mykola faces harassment from Ivan, a student who sees him as a stranger and a weirdo, wanting him out. However, Mykola stays calm, believing in pacifism and focusing on guiding the youth's minds. One morning on his way to work, Mykola sees some soldiers by the road but doesn't think much of it. When he gets to school, he's surprised to see it's empty, and the TV quickly explains why. Russia has invaded Ukraine. Thinking about the soldiers he saw earlier, Mykola gets anxious about his wife and hurries home, but it's already too late. The Russians are there, attacking Nastya, and they grab Mykola when he tries to help her. Once the soldiers confirm they aren't spies, they light a fire in the house and head out. But when Nastya attempts to fight back by throwing a stone, the soldiers quickly shoot her before leaving. Heartbroken, Mykola holds onto his wife's body as he watches their home go up in flames. Hours later, two members of the Ukrainian militia come across Mykola. After confirming he's just an innocent civilian, they lend a hand in digging a grave for Nastya. So they take him back to their base. But before they go, Mykola makes sure to grab the wooden angel as his last memory of his wife. The higher-ups at the base are wary of the sudden arrival of a stranger, thinking he might be a spy. But Mykola quickly shows his intentions by expressing his desire to join the army and drive the Russians out of their country. After that, Mykola starts a tough training course where he has to push his body to the limit and learn to handle firearms, which is totally new for him as a pacifist. Taking apart and putting together weapons is tough for him, and it gets him teased by his superiors, especially when he says he's picked Raven as his codename. Mykola refuses to back down and trains even harder, staying up late for weapon practice and keeping the wood angel close to remind him of his goal, getting revenge for his wife. A few weeks later, the trainees find out there aren't enough snipers at the front, and the army is asking for volunteers for the role. Not a lot of folks care, but Mykola jumps right in, only to face more teasing. Mykola, not ready to back down, takes on a challenge to prove himself. He disassembles and reassembles an AK-47 while blindfolded in under 20 seconds, finally earning everyone's respect. They begin calling him Raven, just like he wanted. Mykola finds the theoretical part of sniper training a breeze, thanks to his math and physics skills. He can whip up calculations quicker than the teachers. He's really good at sticking to the #1 rule, staying completely still and quiet, even when an instructor fires at the ground close by. Unfortunately, he struggles with the actual shooting because, for some reason, he's been given a different weapon than everyone else, one that's not really suited for war sniping. Every time Mykola brings this up, he's just told to handle it. Mykola isn't backing down this time, he's got a plan to show what he's capable of. The final sniper test happens at night, and the trainees need to fire as soon as a flare from the instructor lights up their targets. So, Mykola doesn't shoot right away. He uses the light to figure out the distance, and after the exam is done, he takes his shot in total darkness, hitting the target right in the center, something no one else could do. Mykola graduates with the highest score and gets assigned to a first-class unit. Mykola and his fellow snipers are on their first mission to free a crucial checkpoint that the Russians have taken over. The team manages to slip into the area undetected, and each sniper is given a target. Just as they're ready to take the shot, they have to hit the brakes on the plan because a civilian car is coming up to the checkpoint. The Russian soldiers make the two civilians step out and hand over their passports, not returning them when the couple asks to leave. The guy is making a fuss, insisting on getting his stuff back, which leads the Russian soldiers to react with aggression. Mykola's team sees this and jumps into action, taking out every soldier with swift, precise shots. even the one trying to hold the civilian woman hostage. After the mission wraps up, the team puts up the Ukrainian flag to take back control of the checkpoint. When he gets back to base, Mykola finds out his fellow newbies have gone on another mission. So he takes this chance to visit the school he used to work at and is really touched by the sad sight of the dusty classrooms. The next day, when the other team returns, Mykola receives some really tough news. One of his friends was killed by an enemy sniper. This just adds to why Mykola is seeking revenge. For the next mission, Mykola's team stashes some explosives on trees behind the leaves and then ducks into the grass, waiting for their enemy to arrive. When the Russian soldiers show up in the forest like the report said they would, Mykola hesitates because he sees something unbelievable. So Evans joined the Russian army and is heading our way with the other enemies. He comes back to reality when the captain tells him to shoot, and Mykola presses the detonator, taking out every Russian soldier, Ivan included. When the captain asks him what it was all about and listens to Mykola's explanation, he replies that Ivan had made his choice. During a break, Mykola and the captain share stories about their homes and connect over their memories. The captain has a photo of his family and shares that he and his wife have a deal. He doesn't tell their daughters what he really does, so they believe he's just on a business trip. Mykola shows him the wood angel in return, saying it represents his own family. A few days later, Ukrainian forces secure the trenches by the border, and the sniper team takes position, waiting for the Russian forces preparing to invade the area. With the angel by his side, Mykola prepares to do his job, but he can't keep his cool when he spots the man who killed his wife among the incoming Russian soldiers. Mykola is really itching for revenge and keeps asking the captain if he can shoot, but the captain keeps saying no since the enemy isn't in the right spot yet. So, Mykola gets fed up with waiting and takes the shot, hitting the soldier. But that move reveals their spot to a hidden enemy sniper, who quickly retaliates and takes out the captain. With the captain's body across the field, dodging bullets and bombs all around. Hours later, when Mykola finally gets back to the base, his superior assures him there will be an investigation to track down the sniper who killed the captain. Once they find him, they'll call Mykola to handle it. So, Mykola's feeling really guilty and thinks the best way to deal with it is to dive into solo missions to make up for what he did. His sniper skills are sharp, and he takes out plenty of Russian soldiers. But without anyone to keep him in check, he gets a bit reckless and ends up with a wounded arm from an enemy bullet. Mykola heads to a secret hideout to unwind and catch up on the news about the political negotiations with Russia, but his break gets interrupted by a crucial call. The army has located the sniper who killed the captain, so Mykola has to return now. Before the mission kicks off, the soldiers get all the info that's been collected up to that point. Sari, the sniper, has a wide range with his bullets. He's already taken out 5 Ukrainian snipers and 3 machine gunners. To top it off, he records all his kills and shares the videos to demoralize them. He even had the audacity to post the recording of their captain's death. At least all these casualties have helped them find Sari's location. Since they can't fill the area with mines due to a chlorine storage in the chemical plant where the enemy is hiding, they've come up with a different plan. Their snipers will pick off the lower soldiers to clear the path for Mykola to sneak in and meet Sari face to face. As the mission kicks off, the Ukrainian snipers take their spots and keep an eye out for Mykola as he crawls through the field to get into the building. The first soldier he comes across is the guy who attacked his home before and still remembers Mykola, saying he should have taken him out the first time. After taking him out with one quick and satisfying shot, Mykola signals his teammates to go ahead, leading all the Ukrainian snipers to fire simultaneously and clear the area without triggering any alarms. Only 2 Russian snipers are left, and one of them is Sari. They don't realize something's off until the messages over the comms stop. When they go to check on their fellow soldiers, they find them all dead. As Mykola sneaks deeper into the building without being seen, Sari calls for backup and sends the other soldier to keep watch. When he gets back to his spot, he's taken aback by a little wood angel he finds there. Just then, Mykola bursts out, leaping at Sari with a knife, while the other Russian soldier gets caught by a grenade that's ready for him. So, the backup Sari called for shows up, and Mykola grabs Sari's radio to let the new soldiers know they'll pay for what they did. Right when the Russian truck pulls up, the Ukrainian soldiers start shooting, taking out all the targets in just seconds. With Mykola having avenged his wife, friend, and captain, He figures it's time to take a breather and head back home to visit Nastia's grave, making sure to fix the fallen cross. Unfortunately, even though he really misses home, he can't stay because there's still a lot of work to do for his country. He's off on another solo mission, set to take down as many Russian soldiers as he needs to.